We have been promising to read this little essay that is posted online at robarnieandon.com. It's on the homepage if you want to read it or send it to people or print it out. And it ties into, we were talking earlier in the show about parents being their kids' friends and how things have changed in so many ways. Parents, instead of disciplining their kids, they file lawsuits. And then there's the other side where we coddle our children. We cater to them. We overprotect them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, we baby them. An 18-year-old who's still, nursing.
We don't want them to feel pain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't want their
emotional.
We don't want emotional or physical pain. And of course, it's horrible to watch. But you have to let them know how they're going to get through every emotion.
So this email, I've had this email for a couple of years. People send it to us now and then. It's been going around the internet and for a while, and it's not one of these things that is designed to make us sound old. Back when we were young, stamps were 8 cents. I'm sure it'll have that effect on some people, but it's really designed more to make you go, yeah, we did all these things, because that's what this list is, a list of things that no longer are accepted by society or allowed by parents, and yet we did them all the time, and we turned out okay. I think most would agree. I mean, we as a generation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's posted on the homepage if you want to read it. It says, if you lived as a child of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even early 80s, it's amazing that you've lived to tell about it based on what we believe now in this country. Children of today will read this and wonder what kind of society we grew up in, and most will be jealous. So here's what they write about us as kids. We would ride in the back of pickup trucks on warm summer nights.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I remember that.
Not only don't they do it, it's illegal now.
Jeez, we would trick-or-treat that way.
Absolutely. We rode bikes without wearing helmets.
Oh, God, yes.
Big pet peeve.
Biggest pussification of America. Kids wearing helmets on. I mean, are you that bad of a rider that you need a helmet?
Come on.
Okay, what you were wearing, you got on the bike. You did not put, we already covered the helmets, or elbow pads or knee pads, nothing. You know what? If it was after church and I was still in a Sunday dress, I got on my bike and I got dirty,
The only pad that I ever had associated with a bike was the one that went on the neck where the handlebars went.
Right.
Because, man, if you hit that...
Yeah.
Oof,
yeah, you don't want the jewels going south.
That was it. That one that you put on the bar that goes in between on the frame, and the one on the crossbar, the V-bar, like a lot of people had. Nobody got those.
Stop me if I'm getting too ahead, but because you're talking about the bike, does it talk about where we took the bikes?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
We drank water from the garden hose, not from a bottle.
My God.
Or a purifier. You imagine? Johnny, don't drink that dirty water.
That is so true.
I love hose water today.
Oh
yeah.
My God, that's
especially when it got cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, you always let the geeky kids drink first.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We built go-karts from scratch, only to realize when we got to the top of a hill, we forgot the brakes.
Yeah.
Now Dad builds it for you from a box.
Right, that he bought at the craft store, at the hobby shop.
Here we go. Here's one of the things you're alluding to, Dawn, but there's more. I know where you're going with that. We jumped our bikes and skateboards off of ramps and fell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I cut my head open doing that.
I jumped my bike one time, and I wasn't as fat as I, was now.
Arnie.
But I jumped my bike one time, and I got so airborne, and I did a tabletop. Where you turn the bike to where it looks like you're on top of a table. I didn't mean to, though, and I went head first into a VW.
And I don't know about you guys, but
jeez.
We would actually build these ramps out of rotten pieces of wood we'd find and old rusty nails and bricks and just prop them up.
If you did that now, your parents would go, oh my God, that rock could have meningitis. Don't touch it. Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
We had these boys that lived on our street, we all played together and whatever, but they built one like Nick was describing, and it was put in the middle of the street of the neighborhood. And so when they fell, it was on the street.
Absolutely.
Okay, there was no grass, there was no dirt. It was all right there.
I hope on your list there's talking about sports and stuff we played.
Yes, yes, there's plenty of that coming up.
Good.
Again, this is posted at robarnieanddawn.com on the homepage. If you were a kid of the 50s through the 80s, here's some things you did. We had, I don't know how many of you did this, but I did. We had rock wars.
Oh, yeah.
Boys.
You know what we had?
We threw rocks at each other.
We didn't do that because our parents would kill us if they ever saw us doing that.
Of course.
But what we would do is we'd go to this old lady's house who nobody really lived there. I think she died in the house and nobody ever sold it. They just kept it there.
Oh, gosh.
She had an old peach tree out in her backyard. And we would get the peaches when they were green. And they were really hard, before they were even grew, to where they looked like cherry bombs, and we would chuck those at one another.
We would leave home in the morning, play all day, as long as we were back when the street lights came on, and no one could reach us. No cell phones.
That's right.
We played dodgeball. And sometimes the ball would hurt.
Yes.
Now you can't do that because it singles out the weak. They've banned that from most schools.
God.
I loved it because especially if like a boy pissed me off or something, I'd try really hard to get him, but I never
You'd
did.
miss.
And then he'd get me back. And
I'd pay money.
It would sting. Oh, God, it would sting. But, you don't want them to see you in pain. She just kept playing.
There you go.
That girl. She's a gamer.
Yeah, you are.
I'd go home crying.
Of course you would. We got cut and broke bones and broke teeth, and there were no lawsuits from these accidents. They were accidents. No one to blame but us.
Who in our age group didn't have a close friend in every grade level? When you were in kindergarten, you knew somebody that broke their arm. First grade, somebody broke their arm. Second grade, somebody broke their arm. Third grade, they broke their arm. Fourth, they started not breaking their arms quite so much.
One of my sisters was at our babysitter's house because they also had kids, and they were playing up in the tree, and she fell and broke her arm. My dad she got in trouble for being up in that tree that they weren't supposed to be in anyway.
Right.
And that was that.
End of story.
They didn't, demand that the tree get cut down. They didn't then sue that family. It was nothing like that.
Hello, Eric.
BB gun wars, Smear the Queer, and Slingshot.
All three great things. None of those are on the list.
Smear
All three.
The Queer.
Whoever had the ball.
Well, that was the greatest game. You threw the ball straight up in the air, and you really didn't have an end zone that you ran to. You had to get to both end zones was our rule. And you would have 8 guys just knocking the crap out of you.
That's right. So 2 problems wrong with it. 1, it singles out the weak, the kid who's small or whatever. 2, you can't call him queer. That's politically incorrect.
Right.
BB gun wars, I did that. You shoot BB guns, shoot BBs at each other, and without goggles or pads. And slingshots. Oh, of course. That's just like rock wars, just throwing hard objects at each other.
When I was a kid, there was this guy named Greg whose backyard was like the perfect backyard for football. So everybody after school would meet in his backyard during fall time and play, the most violent kind of tackle football.
Oh, yeah.
Clotheslining, hood on sweater grabbing, slinging over a fence grabbing. And I was going out on a route one time on a receiving route, and this guy was covering me. We weren't paying attention where we were going, and both of us took Greg's dad decided to build one of these drop down porches where it drops like 3 or 4 feet. It's like a little patio, and he just put the concrete on it. And we weren't paying attention, and we ran over the edge. I actually fell and slammed my head on the concrete. Was actually knocked unconscious. And when I woke up, Greg's family was Caribbean, and when I woke up, his mom was there. Just drink this. You'll be okay now. And it's some kind of sugar thing. I think it had some rum in it, but that was it. I drank some and I was fine.
See, that's so sad that boys are missing out on that stuff now. I mean, this is like that was what boys did. That's what you do. And for them not to be able to play like that now, it's pretty sad.
I remember knocking a kid's teeth out playing football. He was quarterback, and I was on the defense, and he threw the ball. I mean, it was a blatant late hit, but I didn't like him at all, and I went in head first and just leveled him.
And as the couple ago said, and there was no suing of your father for that?
No, not at all. I mean, there were still baby teeth on him. I think we're in first grade.
Again, this is posted at robarnieanddawn.com on the homepage, things we did as kids. We would, Arnie, you talked about this earlier, we would light off fireworks in our yard, not watch them with 10,000 people in a park.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
We walked to school alone.
Yes.
We would ride our bikes to the corner store, a mile or 2 away, just to get ice cream.
Yes, I always remember that. Around the block, around the corner. Exactly. No one, you're out of sight. Yep. And oh my gosh, and sometimes you're near a busy street.
Imagine that.
And we'd hang out in front of the store. We'd go in there, get our stuff, and we'd hang out in front of the store. It was no big deal. There was nothing to worry about.
I remember riding my bike probably a mile and a half to the Mr. M convenience store and playing video games at the convenience store where the video games used to be rather than at the house, and also riding my bike to that same store and shoplifting and looking at Playboy when they had it out in public.
And you know what? Your bike, well, all of our bikes were still there.
Yeah.
No matter when we left the store, we would ride up to the store, just throw our bike down. Basically, it was just laying there.
Didn't lock them.
No, we didn't lock them. It wasn't set up in some bike rack or anything. And you come out, and your bike it's still all there.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I want to go back to the games. It's not called Smear the Queer anymore. It's Odd Man Out.
Oh, of course it is.
What's up with that?
Of course. Oh, it's politically correct. Odd man out. Although, even that makes a child feel odd. I don't know if that's okay. Hello, Victor. What's up?
Hey, guys. I just wanted to let you know, we used to make homemade slingshots, but the ammo, we used to take the wire coat hangers, cut off little half-inch strips, and bend them in half and shoot those at one another.
Oh, yeah. Chinese throwing stars. We would make those in metal shop and throw them at each other.
Oh, my gosh.
We would go to the flea market and buy them.
Yes.
We had throwing knives. Blowguns. Have you ever gotten hit with a blow-gun dart?
Yes, that's not pleasant.
No,
my.
I had one go all the way in to where only the thing that was pointing out was the orange head on it.
All right, hold on. We are only halfway through this, if even that. We got to take a break. It's posted at robarnieanddawn.com. It's under... hold on, let me just see. I want to make sure. It's under the heading Growing Up the Way It Used to Be, if you want to read along with us. We're in the middle of this list that is posted online at robarnieanddawn.com. The way it used to be growing up, things that kids of the 50s, 60s, 70s, early 80s did. We've been through a few of them here so far. Hello. Oh, damn it, he went away. You know what? We had a guy who had a great point during the commercial break named Tony, but he didn't stay on the phone. He wanted to know, as we read through this list, would we let our kids do this stuff? So I went back over it. And, it's a great question, because the answer, unfortunately, is a lot of it you can't do, you can't allow anymore because of the lawsuit potential of them doing them with other kids.
Right.
For example, and the dangers in the world. Letting them leave in the morning and not come home all day. There's too many sickos. Walking to school alone, same problem. Riding their bikes 2-3 miles away. Not alone, probably not till a certain age.
It's so sad.
Because of the sickos. I mean, you're not going to get away. Even things like building the go-karts from scratch, I would do it for my son, but not for another kid, because if that kid gets hurt, or the ramps on the bikes.
Well, and I would even, unfortunately, go as far as... let's say I had 2 kids, they could do it together, and I would be watching that. I wouldn't let someone else's kid play with my kid doing that just because of the lawsuit thing. Their kid got hurt from my kid's go-kart, or they weren't even on it, but they got in the way and got hurt. It's really sad.
I'd let my kid build a ramp and jump it.
Sure, by himself.
By himself.
Oh yeah, totally by himself.
Can't have another kid jump it.
And you know what? Some other kid wanted to jump it. I'd say no, you can't.
Because your parent will sue me. And that's kind of the point of this. The point is not just that we pussify our kids, but that we've screwed up our society so much that all these things we can't. Now, there are some you can let them do still, I think. Now, there's some legal issues with this. I would let my kid ride a bike without a helmet.
Oh, God, yeah.
I have no problem with that. And you know what? This is a good one, because I don't know how I'm going to approach that. It's unlawful, but I think it's a stupid law. So what do I teach him? Do I teach him break the law and suffer the consequences, or do you teach him, you got to wear the helmet? That's a tough one.
I just don't teach him the law.
That's just dumb, the whole helmet thing.
And you should see when I'm on my runs.
Oh, it's awful.
I feel so sorry for these families, the mom and everyone. Everyone's got the helmets.
So stupid.
The mom, the dad, the kid in the back little baby seat of the bike. Everyone's got to have a helmet now.
Oh, I love seeing the kids who still have training wheels on their bike with the helmets on.
Oh, please.
I mean, how retarded are they? How
Really?
are they going to hit their heads?
Same thing with the riding in the back of the pickup truck. I did that all the time. It's a legal issue, but I'd let them. Drinking from the garden hose, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I'd force my kids to drink from the garden hose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy, we're going to come in for stuff. You got mud all over you. Drink from the hose.
Exactly. Lighting off fireworks, yes. When they're of the right age, I will, teach them how to do it properly. I hate that. Go to a park and watch. Look at the pretty fireworks in the sky. That's not the 4th of July.
It's the same thing every year.
Are you allowed to do it in your streets anymore? Or you can, but it has to be certain types, right?
It's funny you say that, because you know what? It wasn't allowed when I was a kid. In the city I grew up in Pleasanton, there was already a law against it, but we did it anyway.
You see, we always did it, so I just always thought that's what you... I mean, obviously, when we got older and realized there's different rules.
Hello, Donna. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. How about you, hon?
Good. Hey, I have kids that go to the Roseville School District, and they won't even allow them to run on the blacktop because they may get hurt.
What?
See, and that is a two-pronged problem. One, pussifying our kids, and two, they're afraid of the lawsuits. I don't know which came first. It's the chicken and the egg. Can't run in school, in a playground.
Oh, man, does that mean they can't play Foursquare either at school?
I would assume.
Oh, come on.
All right, let's continue this. Children of 50s, 60s, 70s, even early 80s. This is how you grew up. Got it posted at robarniedawn.com. Things we did. Girls made fun of boys, and boys made fun of girls, and it wasn't sexual harassment.
Oh, yeah.
We got spanked.
All the time.
Oh, in public.
We ate dirt. Absolutely.
Up to the age of 14, you eat dirt.
Oh, ate dirt. I would have dirt in my pockets because I was trying to save the little, what were those ones that rolled up? Were they the roly-polies?
The little bugs, yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I would just have gobs of that all in my pockets.
We would cry, and our parents would respond by saying, I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, my God.
And we knew how much they loved us. That last part is the most important thing. You can't talk to your child that way. No, God forbid that I show them that I'm in charge and I care enough about them.
Yeah.
I love that phrase. I'll give you something to cry
my
about.
Dad used to say
I can't wait to say that to my kid over and over again, in public, in front of awed parents. Call Child Protective Services. We had fights and punched each other and got black and blue and learned to get over it.
Yeah, we didn't fight with knives and guns.
My sisters beat me up all the time.
Now we do it.
I know.
We ate cupcakes, bread and butter, and drank soda, but we weren't overweight because we were always outside playing.
True. Very true.
I was always overweight, but I was still outside playing.
Oh, God.
We shared one soda with 4 friends from the same bottle and lived to tell about it.
No wiping off the top of it.
That is so true.
Hello, Dan. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, when we were kids, we used to play with the real metal lawn darts, throw them up in the air and have them come down and land on car trunks and just put a big old gaping hole in it.
Yeah, lawn darts, one of the dumbest games ever invented, one of the most dangerous things, but we played it. It was fun.
We played, back earlier it was talking about people playing in the street or, doing whatever in the street. We would play football in the street. Now, it would be two-hand touch football.
We did that.
But it would be, two-hand shove football. And the other thing that we used to do in the middle of the street is, you remember the old batting cages that had the rubber hard balls that would bounce?
Yep.
We would steal a bunch of those balls every time we went because they were heavier. They taught us arm strength. And we would line up, like we're throwing the ball to each other, and we would throw it diagonally across the street to the other guy, bouncing it to where he had to run across the street and make the play. Either dive or make it, an outstanding play and throw the ball back.
In the street.
Yeah, in the street.
Do you notice how, neighborhoods just seem... They're so quiet now as compared to, you mentioned all this stuff. There was exactly that. Guys were either kicking balls in the streets or playing baseball in the streets near houses, cars. You're right there in the street of your neighborhood doing the football. We were always outside. The girls, we would we had one of the parents do a tetherball thing, or we'd do hopscotch. We'd play jacks. We were all always outside in the streets. There was always tons of kids. And you know what? None of the neighbors got, we'd move out of the way for them to park or come in. It's like you were always active outside doing all this stuff in the streets.
I live at the end of the court, and my wife and I are one of only 3 of the 20 homes that don't have kids. And first of all, what you said there is interesting. The kids don't move anymore. That's one thing. The kids will be damned. They're not polite anymore. But I only see 2 things occur in the street. They'll ride their bikes with helmets on, which just irritates me. There are some of the kids that are now in junior high or whatever. They won't wear them. They're the cooler kids.
Yeah.
And then the one encouraging thing is basketball. That's the only thing that occurs in the street anymore is basketball. And even that, I'm sure, will be going away. I see a lot of, mostly kids inside, but I see a lot of these stupid jungle, like the McDonald's Playland things, set up in front yards. Kids jumping around in balls. This is their idea of recreation. They buy them for, birthday parties. Nobody has swing sets even anymore because they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We had the swing sets, and sometimes they'd come up from the ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was like,
if you got too high, you could pull it up on one side.
Totally. I tell you, oh my God, are you kidding me? When we were kids, you moved for the adults.
No, not now.
And it was like a written rule with the other adults could yell at you if you didn't.
Right.
And like our parent, the other kids' parents wouldn't get mad that someone else was. I mean, it was the utmost. It was like, they're letting us play in the streets, and so we know we've got to move. But you know what? That's true. When you go in some other neighborhoods, they look at you like, God, you're ruining my game.
And if you say something, don't yell at my kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about y'all, but where I grew up, we had alleys. Did you guys have alleys?
No, I didn't grow up in a poor neighborhood.
We did not have alleys. We had there were
the alleys is where you would take your trash because that's where the trash trucks would come down. It was in the alleys. And what we would do is, did you ever have bunny pegs on your bike? You know, the pegs that you can put in the back of your bike where guys can stand on the back of your bike or hold on or whatever?
Yeah, I did. So.
Yeah, I remember those.
What we would do is we would ride down the alleys with these bunny pegs in, and we would do the bunny hop with the bike. Remember how to do that? You just throw the back tire out to your left, and we would put holes in the trash cans. We would ride by. And just, fling them over there.
Hello there, Jack. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I was wondering, do you guys remember the old green machines? Like the big wheels?
Yeah, I remember the big wheel.
Yeah, when I was like 7, I used to watch my older neighborhood kids running and playing on a BMX track. And I got out there, no helmet or anything, tried my damnedest to jump that stupid thing. I don't know how many times I ended up in a puddle of blood and dirt and dust.
Wow, and you lived to tell about it.
Exactly.
You know, the big wheels, especially if you were cool, you took the seat off.
Oh, yeah.
You just put your foot on it, and then you used your other foot to push it like a skateboard.
You know what? When the boys would scrape and cut themselves, the mothers would just brush them off. I mean, they'd make sure they were okay, because, you're still, a woman, and we tend to get emotional. But that was that. There was no,
Go play is what they told you then.
And then they just brush off and okay, now you're okay, go, exactly. There was no, get back in the house and, oh, my God, take them to the hospital or
bring them inside
them
and talk to them about how they feel about failing.
Yeah, it was like, right.
No, another thing we used to do on the garage is we would draw where the strike zone was.
Yeah, all the time.
And you would pitch to that until your arm was just about to fall off.
Hello, Elena. Good morning.
Yeah, hi. I just have a couple comments, too. One is, like what you were saying earlier about being able to take off and nobody saw you till the streetlights came on. That was how it was. I can remember being out. We lived in an area where there was a lot of open land around us, and we would go off and play in the streams and get dirty and muddy. And I remember one time I fell out of a tree and broke my arm, and I had to walk 3 miles home, and nobody okay, let's go to the doctor. It looks broken, but it wasn't a huge thing. Now, my kids, they come outside. We live in a neighborhood, and we're trying so hard to get some property so that we can let our kids be kids and let them just run and play and not have to worry, about what they're doing so much, And the helmet thing, my daughter, she's 5. She fell with her helmet on the other day, but she fell face first off her bike and still messed her face up.
Oh, don't give them ideas. They'll want face masks.
Right.
Pretty soon our kids will look like hockey goalies every time they go outside of the house.
Do you remember that when there were open fields and we'd go over to them?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
not now. There's rats in there.
Right, yeah.
Or scary people.
You know what else we used to do in the alleyways? Is we would experiment with gasoline and matches in garbage cans.
The boys were the best. We would just laugh so hard at the boys because you guys were so destructive.
We did love fire.
I have to agree with Arnie. I destroyed a small fortune in Star Wars toys and Star Wars action figures between gasoline and fireworks and seeing if you put the rocket pack on Boba Fett with the bottle rockets. Oh my God!
Do you remember melting them with the magnifying glass in the sun when you figured that shit? And then you do it to lizards.
No, I remember we used to have this little thing. Who could make the coolest voodoo doll out of their G.I. Joes? And what you do is you take pens. And I wasn't a bright kid.
Really?
And I would hold the pen. I would hold the pen in my hand and heat it up with one of my mom's lighters. Not realizing that it's going to get damn hot. So finally I realized you hold on with the pliers and then you just stick it in the action figure to where it kind of burns. And then you get your mom's fingernail polish and you paint blood on it and you bring that to school the next day.
All right, we've got about a dozen more things, a lot of them dealing with sports as kids, but we got to take a break and then we'll finish this up. Hello, Cecilia. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to make a quick comment that I think part of the problem, too, with parents nowadays is their lack of responsibility in their kids' actions, you know, and that's part of the reason why perhaps all these lawsuits are happening, because the parents don't want to take responsibility for the kid doing this or that. You know, it's like they're not teaching their kid anything.
That's right. You know what I think it is, Cecilia? For a lot of parents, they think that when their kid gets hurt, that it's a reflection on them being a bad parent, because we've taught people that pain's no good. You should never feel pain. And so people look at it like, well, this can't be my fault. I'm a great parent, so I'm going to sue the school or the parent of the house that it happened in or the public administrator. You're absolutely right, Cecilia. And that's the point you made is most important. We're not teaching our kids any good lessons.
You know what? And we were actually like families then. Like, you sat down.
Don't get ahead of me on that one. Don't get ahead of me.
Okay, I don't know if this is on there. Probably not. But girls, we were girls. Like, we were way girly. Like, everything we did was surrounded by someday being married and having a baby and just staying home. And that was like A-okay. You know what I mean? It was like every game we did, we were vacuuming or washing dishes, you know, or putting clothes on our dolls, or, you know, it was all, and we loved it. You know, or we'd do dress up and just be like so dressed up, you know, and like, you know, your mom's clothes or whatever. And it was all okay that was like what you wanted to do.
And then the liberals took over.
And now the boys play dress up.
Oh, no way. Oh, my God. If I ever have a kid and I have a boy, he is not getting a doll. He is not getting a doll or a Barbie.
Please.
They do that now. They give him dolls and Barbies.
I know. They let him clop around in mommy's high heels.
Something we did, you know, Dawn brings up the girly thing. My best friend growing up, his name was Todd, and he had a sister named Heather. And Heather was just annoying. We hated
This
her.
is where it started for you, with girls being annoying.
We just hated her. So we're like, you know, I used to spend the night at his house, and always, you know, what's the scariest thing? And she told us one night the thing that would freak her out the most is if anybody was ever hiding under her bed with an ice pick.
Arnie States.
So one night, Todd did it.
Oh, that a boy.
He hid under her bed, reached over, put his hand on her mouth.
Oh, my God.
And brought the ice pick out. She wet the bed. And it was the funniest thing. My brother-in-law did that to my niece one time. She was terrified of the movie Killer Tomatoes. The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
The campy Killer Tomato movie? Yeah.
He put a bunch of tomatoes in her room one night, and she woke up, freaked out, went all over the room. What is it with you girls and
tinkling?
Yeah.
Hello, Liz. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. How about you?
I'm marvelous. You guys are bringing me back to yesteryear. When I was growing up, we lived right across the street from TV 40, and they used to have big-time wrestling there. And it was so cool because during the summertime, our parents would let us walk up to the TV, you know, TV 40 to watch it. And it'd be like 9 o'clock at night, and 5 or 6 of us 10-year-olds would have to cross Fruit Ridge Road by ourselves. And we lived through it.
Right. Yeah, they let you do it. You could do it. They didn't have to worry about some weirdo, wacko kidnapping you or shooting you.
Yeah.
Hello there, Mike. Good morning, Mike.
Mike, you there?
All right, let's try Brenda. What's up, Brenda?
Hey, I just wanted to share a couple things with you that I did when I was a kid.
Sure.
We used to play with dry ice bombs.
Dry ice bombs.
Oh, man.
Those will burn.
Enough said of those.
Ouch.
But when I was a little kid, I used to hide behind cars, in between cars, with my mother's slingshot that I had stolen from her, and shoot passing cars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, like when it would snow, because every once in a while it would snow in Dallas. And we would build, you know, the snow forts, because it would only last for about 6 hours, and then it was like 90 degrees again. But we would just pummel cars with snowballs. And, I mean, we didn't take it to the extreme of sticking rocks in there. Sometimes we might put an egg in there.
Oh, that's lovely.
But, I mean, you know, you throw the snowball. And the best part was you throw the snowball at the car. The car always stops. Door flies open. Boom. That's where alleys came in. You were down out in the alley, and you knew every yard that you could go into.
Do you remember getting lost in the stores because you took off when you weren't supposed to, and they'd let you get lost?
Sure.
and they just ignore you, and sometimes they even walk to the car.
Right.
And it wasn't, they knew you were in there. There wasn't like you were kidnapped. It was like, let him teach you a lesson to not run off from me.
He'll find me.
But exactly. He'll find me, and they just went about their shopping.
All right, again, this is posted on our website at robarnieanddawn.com. It's the very first thing on the homepage. It's about things kids in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s did because we could or because we weren't such a bunch of pussies. Let's just go through the last few here. Dawn just alluded to it. We ate dinner as a family. No phone calls or TV were permitted during dinner.
No.
And no one left the table until everyone was done eating. I really believe we were the last generation that did this.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you know what? I have to admit, though, that we all sat down and ate together, me, my mom, and Dad, but we would watch TV. We always watch TV.
Does not surprise me at all.
Either game shows or, sitcoms that used to be on the air that were in syndication.
We were in the dining room or the kitchen, both of which were separate areas from even where a TV was at. Period.
When I got older, they would finally let me watch like an A's game if it was on, but even that was rare. It was because they were fans too.
Right.
We ate worms.
Ew.
We played tackle football.
Oh, the only way to play.
Oh, yeah, they play flag now, huh?
Here's one of my favorites. People pitched the baseball to us rather than having us hit it off of a tee.
Amen. Either in the street or in a league.
We had Little League tryouts, and not everyone made the team. And those who didn't had to learn to deal with disappointment. Some students weren't as smart as others, so they failed.
Yes, we did.
Tests were not adjusted to accommodate certain people from certain backgrounds. We made fun of short kids, fat kids, and weird kids, and they were told they had to learn to deal with it because it was an unfortunate fact of life.
Did you ever get in trouble for making fun of the retarded kids, though? In
Sure.
school? Yeah.
Sure.
We actually, I remember that I wasn't the fattest kid in school. This kid named Chris Kennedy was.
Wow. I would like to see that guy.
He was enormous.
You are so mean. Look at him.
I remember he and I we were like rivals because I was almost as fat as he was, so we were rivals. But I
Who could be
one
the
time,
fattest?
We were riding one time home on the bus, and I wasn't sitting near him because I didn't really like him that much.
They made you sit on opposite sides, I would assume, to keep it balanced.
And the tard bus was passing us.
No.
And Chris started making faces. And I'm like, doing that. The tard bus pulled us over, and they kicked Chris off the bus. And
Did they all start making siren noises?
So you know what? I was just a sucker back then because my friends, everybody, they'd make fun of everything you said, and later on in the day, I'd find that kid and be like, "Oh, we don't mean it. It's all okay."
No, that's where it started.
I felt
You're
so
the same
bad.
now.
I felt so bad for those kids. It was terrible.
I just want to know if they had to use the jaws of life to peel open the school bus to get Arnie and this Chris kid on.
Hey! Oh my God.
Hello there, Roxanne. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just calling about, I have 32, I have 4 kids, so we do a lot of baseball and stuff. And, on T-ball, we didn't do T-ball because that's dumb, but, coach pitch and stuff, and even up to minors, they don't tell the kids to score. It's not nobody wins, you know.
Right, they can't feel bad for being losers. That's the way it is now. We don't let kids lose because there are no losers. We're all winners.
You know what else was the best? Was finding out about some kids, parents, having some sort of problem. Either their parent is an alcoholic or their parent is, weird or something. And you would make fun of that kid because of his parents, lack of whatever.
Hello, Kathy. Good morning.
Hi, how's it going?
What's up?
I just wanted to make a comment because I think eventually boys and girls, there's going to be, no difference between them. Because, those things, all those activities we used to really set us aside. So I think that's kind of interesting.
I wonder if it'll be that there'll be no difference, or if eventually, and we won't live to see this, everything will change over.
Oh,
It'll be
God.
the guys that do the housework and pick the flowers and stay home with the kids while the women go off, earn the money, and fix the car.
Oh, yuck.
And do all the put the floors in and the plumbing.
Man.
Hey, honey, sink stopped up. Can you take care of that? I'm nursing.
Because it is such a huge difference. We're playing dress up, and you guys are, setting things on fire. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. It is. is.
You know what? And that never changes. Anytime you can use fire. I was putting a dishwasher in, my new dishwasher 2 weeks ago with a friend of mine. And we were trying to force, I'll try to do this really simple because I don't know plumbing talk. We have a tube, and we're trying to force a metal piece into the rubber tube. And it's just the tube's just a little too small. So my friend decides, hey, I know what we'll do. We'll turn on your gas stove and get the metal piece really hot so that when we put it in the rubber tube, it'll melt the tube and cinch it up. We did it. We're standing there roasting this metal pipe. It worked.
Oh, God, you guys.
We always go to fire. Went into quest for fire.